Tonight, fueling industry in Sarnia. Reaction to a proposed pipeline with economic potential but environmental concerns. Plus, bringing pressure to the politicians.
Because if we don't stand up for what we believe in, then no action takes place.
Striking workers get the cold shoulder from a local MPP. And accessible education.
The great part about this program is that there's so many people to help them through the journey.
A Fanshawe First Nation partnership for higher learning.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight in Sarnia and reaction to a proposed oil pipeline which would carry crude from Alberta for refining in Chemical Valley. As Jerry Dewan reports, the economic benefits are enticing, but there are environmental concerns as well.
The Northern Shield Energy Corridor would build 3,300 kilometers of pipeline from Hardisty, Alberta to refineries in Sarnia. The head of the Sarnia-Lambton Economic Partnership says the pipeline could bring generational change.
You don't undergo a pipeline project without having certainties, not just for years, but for decades into the future.
Matthew Slotwinski says the economic opportunities will extend beyond oil refining.
It's important to note that this project is Canadian feedstock through a Canadian pipeline to Canadian refining, which ultimately is the engine that feeds manufacturing across Ontario and Eastern Canada. This is a project we should all be excited for.
Ada Lockridge is a member of the Amnajong First Nation and an environmental activist. Her work has led to expanded water and air testing throughout the region. While she's had concerns about the environmental impacts of the Chemical Valley, she's not taking a stand against the pipeline project.
I'm not opposed to it because, like, what's going on with the United States and that right now.
Lockridge says volatility created by the Trump administration makes it necessary to be less economically dependent on the U.S. Amnajong sits on the southern edge of Sarnia, adjacent to the Chemical Valley. She wants to ensure oil refineries and petroleum-related businesses continue to operate safely.
Lockridge says it's imperative to have comprehensive air and water quality monitoring and to be absolutely transparent with whatever information is gathered.
The Northern Shield proposal has already raised red flags for Lockridge. She says sulfur in the air has long been a concern in the Sarnia region, and she's seen reports that crude flowing from Alberta could have higher levels of sulfur.
Sarnia needs to clean up their sulfur and that here already.
Amnajong First Nation Chief Janelle Namabin has issued a statement recognizing the economic potential of the line, but also identifying the nation's concerns, saying our community is already living in a state of environmental emergency. Adding new pipeline risks without addressing existing harms is unacceptable. In Sarnia, Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
The Durham Regional Police Chief has confirmed one of their recruits was killed in a crash near Aylmer today, while a second recruit was seriously injured. They were in a vehicle that collided with a transport truck at Imperial Road and College Line.
Unfortunately, one person was pronounced deceased at the scene. One was taken to a local hospital with critical injuries. The driver of the tractor trailer, he's uninjured.
According to the Durham Regional Police Chief, the constables in training were traveling together near the Ontario Police College at the time of the crash. Both involved vehicles ended up in respective ditches. Multiple roads in the area were closed for the police investigation. One person was killed in a crash on Confederation Line in Sarnia last night. Police say the collision happened around 11 p.m. Two people were taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. One of the victims was later pronounced dead. Confederation was closed between Modlin Road and Blackwell Side Road while the investigation took place. Oxford OPP say one person suffered life-threatening injuries in a crash in Norwich Township yesterday. They published this image saying there was only one driver involved. According to police, the 27-year-old was rushed to hospital where he remains, and they're asking for any witnesses to contact them. A major cleanup is underway at a campground in Bayfield after an intense storm this past weekend. The site remains closed, and the owner says it will likely take weeks to get all the debris cleared. With more, here's Scott Miller.
It's been 5 days since a fast-moving storm cut a swath of destruction through parts of the Rainbow Valley campground in Bayfield.
I've got over 100 trees destroyed. and they were knocked down from one end of the property to the other.
Around 6 in the morning on Friday, July 3rd, Brandon was awoken by a loud crack of thunder and then text messages from his campers that the 100-site seasonal trailer park had been hit hard by the storm.
I couldn't even get down the hill. It was blocked off completely. We had to move our way in and step by step.
5 days later, the campground remains closed as the damage is still quite evident. About 40 trailers suffered damage, says Brandon. Several still have trees and limbs crushing their roofs.
I can't open the park until I get some of the hangers out of the trees, and then they'll be able to start cleaning up their personal lots.
Thankfully, no one was injured, says Brandon, but the cleanup will likely take weeks.
If it had been 1 day later, I'd have had all the kids would have been out of school. They'd have had their first long weekend of the summer, and they'd have been here. It could have been so much worse.
Due to its remote location along the Bayfield River, many people in Bayfield aren't even aware of the damage at Rainbow Valley, says Brandon. He's not sure what it was that hit this campground, but some of the twisted limbs do look like it may have been a tornado.
They twisted things up, even if it wasn't a twister. I don't know what it was, but a downburst of some sort.
In Bayfield, Scott Miller, CTV News.
We're live on location tonight at the Woodcrest Community Pool. Now, this pool is nestled or tucked away in the Westmount neighborhood, and they have memberships available. We're going to tell you more about that coming up, but it's a perfect night for a swim, and so many kids and adults out enjoying the beautiful water here behind me. Temperatures across the area coming into the mid to upper 20s this afternoon, dealing with a bit of a humidex, but the humidity will continue to climb as we push through the next couple of days. On the hour in London, coming in at 27 degrees. Midwestern Ontario from 23 along the lakeshore to 27 as we push into Midwestern Ontario. We did have some stubborn cloud early in the day, but scouring out that cloud cover as the area of high pressure builds in, skies will be clear tonight. There's a stationary front well off to the northwest. Eventually, a low pressure area will ride along that and bring a cold front in as we head toward Thursday, which means the risk for showers. Temperatures headed down to about 21 at midnight, still on the very warm side overnight, but getting more comfortable as we head toward sunrise with the temperature dipping to 16. Coming up, a hot and humid day on the way for tomorrow. In advance of the cold front, I'll have more live on location from the Woodcrest Community Pool coming up in just a few minutes. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks, Julie. Protesters disrupted a business luncheon today, which was co-hosted by local MPP Rob Flack. The demonstrators were striking workers from Community Living London who say they've been trying to get a meeting with him. Brian Bicknell has more on the message they want Flack to hear.
About 50 members of OPSU Local 106 rally outside the St. Thomas constituency office of Rob Flack, planting protest signs in windows, interacting with arriving guests, and making lots of noise. They're trying to get a face-to-face with the Elgin Middlesex London Tory MPP.
We've been asking him to meet for over 7 weeks, and he refuses to meet with us. We just want to have a conversation, and we just need this fixed. Ontario is in crisis.
The Community Living London workers are now in their 7th week of a strike. While the union is negotiating with the employer, the province must sign off on any deal. Workers are seeking the same 6.5% pay increase awarded to other Ontario workers. After Bill 124, the province's wage capping bill was overturned in court rulings. Their fight gaining support with some attending the luncheon.
I think everybody should stand up for what they believe in, because if we don't stand up for what we believe in, then no action takes place, unfortunately. So keep fighting. That's all I have to say.
Especially when it is private property, they've asked.
After repeated requests to leave, police are called and the striking workers retreat to the rear of the building on public property. Meanwhile, outside Community Living London offices, picketing continues. The strike by OPSU is province-wide, with more than 4,500 workers on picket lines at Community Living offices across Ontario, including close to 600 in London, some growing weary.
Some of those hopes start to fall by the wayside, and I think by now we've all just ready to go. We're ready for this to end.
Community Living is using replacement workers during the strike.
There's people living in nursing homes that are 30, 40 years old just to get medical care. That is not quality of life for people with developmental disabilities.
The striking workers don't get their meeting, but CTV News speaks to Rob Flack at the event, who simply says democracy is messy sometimes, but declines our request to speak on camera. Brian Bicknell, CTV News, St. Thomas.
A program administered by City Hall covers the cost of air conditioning units for local low-income seniors. However, the program's strict income limit means many struggling seniors are declined each year. Daryl Newcomb has more on a push to broaden eligibility for a program which has the potential to save lives.
High temperatures and low incomes put too many seniors in London at risk every summer, unable to afford the cost of a window-mounted air conditioner.
We know a lot of seniors are struggling financially, and seniors are the most likely to die or be impacted by heat stroke and heat exhaustion.
Councillor Skylar Frank says discretionary benefits through Ontario Works and ODSP fund the purchase of air conditioners for the very lowest income seniors in our community. However, there are many low-income seniors who earn just a little more than that threshold, which means they don't qualify for the AC unit program.
I'm asking staff to look into a pilot project to see, is there a mechanism that we can provide a subsidy or air conditioning units for seniors who aren't qualifying for the other programs that exist.
According to Frank's motion, citywide, demand for the current program has been increasing each year, with 258 units purchased last year at a total cost of $93,000.
We always encourage that during high heat waves that people are able to, take advantage of cooling centers and finding abilities to cool themselves off.
Recently, Middlesex London EMS saw a rise in call volumes for seniors and other vulnerable individuals experiencing heat-related illnesses.
In the past heat wave that we saw, our recent one that's just slowly breaking now, we saw an 8% increase.
An upfront investment of a one-time cost for an air conditioning unit would actually prevent some ongoing operational costs that we see in our healthcare sector and in our ambulance costs.
Frank suggests the one-time cost of a pilot project could be appropriately sourced from City Hall's Climate Change Reserve Fund.
Since we are seeing the extreme heat waves we have been seeing, it might be a good use of our Climate Change Reserve Fund money to be able to pull out, let's say $50,000 for a pilot. There's just over $1 million sitting in that budget.
Frank's motion will be considered at a committee meeting next week. If approved by council, she'd like to have a staff report back in time to have a program with broader eligibility in place before next summer. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Police in California say they've charged a gang leader who's already behind bars in India with ordering an assassination here in Canada. Those charges are part of a wider international police operation revealed today, which included arrests all over the world. With more, here's Adrian Gabriel.
Dubbed Operation Hardball, the 24 people arrested have been charged with a litany of criminal offences, including the murder of Canadian Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in 2023 in British Columbia. Nijjar was assassinated outside of a Gurdwara in Surrey, BC. Police in Los Angeles today allege that Lawrence Bishnoi, a gangster who is in prison in India, and his alleged Lieutenant Satinderjeet Singh, also known as Goldie Brar, ordered the killing. The indictment against a total of 37 suspects claims that such high-profile crimes were used to terrorize and extort Indians living in Canada and the United States.
We hope it's going to have a massive, massive positive impact on communities, not only here in LA, but throughout the world and in Canada.
The investigation also claims that in November 2023, Bishnoi claimed responsibility for a separate shooting that occurred at the Vancouver home of a prominent Indian actor and singer, warning in Punjabi in a Facebook post that no one can save you from us.
3 of the suspects were arrested right here in Canada. Prosecutors believe 10 others are currently on the run in the United States, India, and Europe. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Canadian border agents say they've laid a dozen charges against a local man through an immigration fraud investigation involving international students. According to investigators, 35-year-old Janish Kumar Patel and a resident from Cambridge conned students out of more than $125,000. They say they were tipped off by officials at Lambton College. The suspects are accused of telling the victims they were paying tuition, but they were never actually enrolled in any programs. Border agents say Patel has now fled the country and an arrest warrant has been issued. A 45-year-old man was sentenced to 5 years in prison today, convicted of dangerous driving, causing the death of a retired principal last year and seriously injuring her husband. With more on the decision from the London courthouse, here's Nick Paparella.
This is what was left behind after 45-year-old Randy Jones of Manitoulin Island drove erratically in a pickup truck through downtown London, speeding up to 94 kilometers an hour and going through red lights on September 10th of last year. His driver's license had been suspended at the time. He eventually crashed into 67-year-old Catherine Sallows and her 70-year-old husband, Stephen, at Queens Avenue and William, and then fled on foot. Catherine, a retired principal, would die days later in hospital, and Stephen is still recovering emotionally and physically. During the sentencing, Justice Ghazala Zalman told the court the death has deprived her husband of his life partner. Mr. Sallows speaks of nightmares, panic attacks, and grief. Jones would be arrested about a week later in Thunder Bay after a police chase. He was in a stolen pickup truck at the time. The court heard about his alarming driving record with 18 speeding infractions over 2 decades. The judge said this record demonstrates a persistent disregard of the rules governing the safe operation of a motor vehicle, and it establishes that prior sanctions failed to deter Mr. Jones from unsafe driving. She went on, Mr. Jones fled the scene after the collision and failed to render assistance to anyone involved, including people that were in his own vehicle. Originally charged with 11 counts, in April, Jones pled guilty to dangerous driving causing death and dangerous driving causing bodily harm. After a joint sentencing submission from the Crown and the defense, Jones was handed a 5-year prison term along with a lifetime driving prohibition. For each court appearance, Jones has sat in the prisoner's box and sobbed. Once again during the sentencing, he was wiping away tears. Defense lawyer Nick Cake represented Jones in court and says his client is remorseful.
No matter what Her Honor did in the courtroom today, there's no justice, because justice can't bring mom back, can't bring sister back, can't bring your aunt back, can't bring your friend back. None of that can happen. Ultimately, Mr. Jones is going to move forward. Mr. Jones is going to serve his sentence. And frankly, I don't think the book will ever close on crimes such as this, because there's a whole lot of healing that has to happen, and we don't know if that healing's ever going to happen.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Public visitations have been announced here in London for the late country music figure Tommy Hunter.
Someday I'll sit down and write all that's gone by in my life, and the things I tried to do, both right and wrong.
The visitations are scheduled for Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. and then 6 to 8 p.m. at the Needham Funeral Home on Dundas Street. Photos and memorabilia from Hunter's decades-long career will be on display. A private funeral for family will be held at a later date. Hunter's death was announced last week. He was 89 years old. An education partnership was announced today in Leamington between Fanshawe College and the Caldwell Island First Nation. Michelle Molesky has more on the plan to make continuing education more accessible.
Caldwell's chief knows the power of education.
When I got my high school diploma and my siblings got their high school diplomas, we were first-generation high school graduates. And it gives me great honor to say that my mom is going to be getting her high school diploma.
That's why this signing is so significant. The Greater Essex County District School Board and Fanshawe College are going to work with Caldwell First Nation to encourage more band members to go back to school.
There's a lot they might not know. They might not understand computers. But what the great part about this program is that there's so many people to help them through the journey.
Caldwell students will either go to adult education programs in Windsor, Essex, or be enrolled in classes in London.
It's free to participate in our ACE program, free to participate in our academic upgrading, and then working in partnership with Fanshawe's Indigenous Institute, it's really ensuring that there are other pathways for them if they're looking to go to college on the long term.
When you think about a community like Caldwell, they come from community. So our success is how do we build that community so that they feel welcome, right, type of thing. How do we acknowledge them? And
and their teachings and their way of living.
We're just going to meet with Caldwell on a more regular basis to make sure we're meeting the needs of the community. So instead of an individual basis, we're looking more at a community basis and focus with Caldwell First Nation.
The partnership is in its infancy, but already has shown interest.
We have already 3 band members that are interested in pursuing this program.
Band members interested in either finishing high school or entering the post-secondary world need only reach out to the First Nation office to get the ball rolling. In Leamington, Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
All right, we're back on location at the Woodcrest Community Pool, and we're joined by some volunteers who help to keep this pool running in the community. We're joined by Ashley Nash and Lindsay Baker. Now, Ashley, we're going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about this pool and being part of this community. It's such an important part of the Westmount area.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Julie. So Woodcrest Pool is a volunteer-run community organization that has been in the Westmount neighborhood since 1972. We provide a space for residents in the area and throughout London to come and take their swimming lessons and cool off during this hot summer months. We rely and are funded totally on memberships and government grants, sponsorships, and community donations.
Such an important part of this community. We were chatting off camera just about what it's like to have something like this and how important it is. All right, Lindsay, tell us a little bit about some of the programs that you have here.
Yeah, we offer quite a variety of different activities. We offer swimming lessons, group and private lessons. We offer aquafit, lane swims, adult times, and even some fun activities like youth nights. And we've got an upcoming adult games night this Thursday.
Yeah, there's lots of great events for people to be part of here, which is so wonderful. And you can find out more information on your website, right? That is woodcrestpool.ca.
Yeah, it's a great website. Lots of different options for connecting with us if you have questions or just want to check out our schedule.
All right, and it's membership based, so people who join, they have a membership. What are the hours before we let you go?
Yeah, so in July we're open 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then in August, just because the sun sets a little bit earlier, we're open from 8 a.m. till 8:30 p.m.
All right, and there's always lifeguards here on duty, which of course is very important for all the families that come out to enjoy. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. We'll be back. We have some great pool weather on the way. Are you pumped?
Yeah.
Oh, before I let you go, trivia night. Do you do trivia in the pool?
We do. We have that coming up on the 13th.
Okay, and you do part trivia in the pool and then you get out and play some games?
We do. We have some games for outside too, like Jenga.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We'll be back again with all your forecast details and a look at an absolutely spectacular weekend on the way. Thank you so much.
All right, Julie. Thank you. When we come back, NATO leaders in Turkey debating the alliance's priorities amid geopolitical tensions, plus reshaping the Senate, the Prime Minister's latest appointments, and his decision to change selection protocols. Welcome back. World leaders have gathered in Turkey for a one-day NATO summit discussing military spending and the war in Ukraine. With more on those conversations and Mark Carney's priorities, here's Graham Richardson.
The biggest issue here at NATO, especially for European allies, is the war in Ukraine. Russia bombing Kyiv the day before Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived here in Turkey. He met with Prime Minister Mark Carney today. Reports say 30 people died during the attack.
This barbarism of Putin, which continues and continues in recent days, will not succeed.
That, coupled with U.S. President Donald Trump's anger with the alliance over a perceived lack of support for the American-Israeli war with Iran. Into this tense atmosphere, Canada trying to tell a positive story. It's getting help from the head of NATO. Today, the alliance confirming it will negotiate with Saab to buy more GlobalEye planes in what could be a lucrative partnership with Bombardier in Montreal.
This will ensure we keep NATO's owned and operated surveillance and early warning capability strong and credible for decades to come.
Canadian officials are quick to counter the tension with their new spending, like Monday's announcement on subs and how they're deepening connections with NATO allies.
It means that we can each share crews,
for example, on the submarines.
The consensus is Canada is in a much better position here than even a few months ago.
Remember that just a few summits ago, it was a question of reaching 2% of GDP in terms of defense spending. We've achieved that now.
That may be true, but again today, government officials would not say specifically how much all of this military spending will cost. Again today, the defense minister said that the submarine contract will grow the economy. Usually when you spend like this, you have three options: hike taxes, cut programs, or take on more debt. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ankara.
Several key Senate appointments were announced today, along with changes to the way those appointments will be determined going forward. With more on that, here's Rachel Aiello.
Prime Minister Mark Carney performed a political balancing act today, appointing a prominent Liberal insider and his principal secretary, Tom Pitfield, to the Senate, at the same time as he poached Conservative MP Richard Martel, who has ditched his seat on Pierre Poilievre's side of the House to join the upper chamber.
For Mr. Poilievre, this stings. He has lost 5 caucus members from the House of Commons since the general election.
Both men will represent Quebec, and NATO seat projections show Martel's riding would be a coin toss in a by-election.
Well, on the one hand, the Prime Minister gets to say that he's nonpartisan. On the other hand, creating an opening in Chicoutimi Fjord creates a situation where the Liberals can win another seat.
In addition to Pitfield and Martel, Carney also appointed Atlantic Cancer Research Institute founder Dr. Rodney Ouellette to represent New Brunswick, and accountant and corporate executive Gita Tucker to represent Manitoba. Carney is also changing the process for future potential appointees, doing away with the non-partisanship criteria imposed by former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Carney is saying, you know what? It is politics, man. It's a partisan body.
A new Senate advisory board will be appointed in the coming days, asked to identify qualified candidates with expertise in specific sectors.
I think with a thin majority that Mark Carney has, he probably wants to try to create an environment in the Senate which is easier for him to pass legislation.
Once these 4 appointments are confirmed, there will still be 6 remaining vacancies in the Senate, and 5 more are anticipated before the end of the year. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Riding back over to the Woodcrest Community Pool, rejoining Julie Atchison for a look at the forecast. You got some guests there with you, Julie. I can only imagine they're enjoying the conditions there tonight.
Yes, absolutely. They're having a great time, and they were enjoying themselves a bit behind us while we were chatting about this fantastic pool. So we wanted to introduce them all to you. So what's your name?
Chris Davis.
Okay.
Noah Payne. Hayden Carpenter.
Okay, so tell me, what do you love about this pool?
There's a lot of lifeguards. It's really safe, and it's really fun to enjoy. It's cheap and it's enjoyable.
That's perfect. And for you, what do you like about it?
I like some people might think this is just bare minimum or whatever. I like how there's a diving board. It's fun. There's lots of all the lifeguards are nice, and if you say honest to me, it's pretty deep and shallow at the same time.
So you can have a good time. Yeah. I like it. Today's a perfect day for a swim, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yes.
And what do you like about it?
It's very fun and it gives good energy, and this definitely deserves a 5-star review.
That's great. I love that you guys have a community pool, somewhere to go in the summer to have fun with your friends. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to do the weather forecast now, so you guys we had to come back and grab you guys because you guys were having such a good time behind us. Yeah. All right, well, have a great night. Thanks, guys.
You too.
All right, thank you so much. All right, conditions in our area today, it was a hot one. We hit 28 degrees this afternoon, 19 degrees our low. Comparing that with what's normal for this time of year, well, as you can see, we are close. Temperature tomorrow on the hot side, it's going to be extremely humid across the region with temperatures set to climb into the upper 20s, and it will feel close to 30 in Midwestern Ontario. London's going to climb to above 30, feeling like the upper 30s. All right, satellite radar showing most of that cloud cover scattered out. We have a few fair weather clouds out here right now, but skies will be mainly clear overnight and waking up tomorrow morning to plenty of sunshine. As we take a look at our satellite radar, we do have that stationary front off to the northwest. It will slowly sink southward in the coming days, and an area of low pressure will ride along it, driving a cold front across the lower Great Lakes. With that front coming through, the temperatures ahead of it will be hot and humid. Behind it, it a bit cooler, but it will spark some scattered showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. Overnight, comfortable temperatures, a little bit milder along that lakeshore between 19 and 20 degrees. And then as we head through KW, 15 to 16 degrees in Mount Forest. So clear tomorrow with sunshine to start your day, heating up in the afternoon. As I mentioned, 30 to 31 degrees. Showers will hold off until we hit Thursday. We have that rain arriving in the Bruce Peninsula as we head into Thursday morning, and then showers through Grey and Bruce. The chance for rain and thunderstorms in London Thursday afternoon. The main threats will be heavy downpours. We could see some intense lightning as well with the passage of that front. All right, so heading into tomorrow morning, you'll wake up to sunshine. That sunshine will continue through the day. The winds by the afternoon will shift to the southwest. We'll hit 31 degrees tomorrow. And again, it's going to be a hot and humid day, a perfect day for the Woodcrest Community Pool with lots of sunshine on the way. Midwestern Ontario as well tomorrow, your daytime high between 29 and 30. Showers arriving Thursday afternoon in London with the potential for some thunderstorms, and then the temperature will dip a bit on Friday. Could see some cloud cover lingering Friday morning. It will take a while for that cloud cover to break up. Saturday into Sunday, sunshine to a mix of sun and cloud. The weekend is looking fantastic. Now, we just came through a weekend where it wasn't ideal for outdoor fun. We have more sunshine on the way. This weekend is Sunfest downtown London, so everyone will be out at Victoria Park, and Sunfest will deliver with lots of sunshine. Midwestern Ontario, a hot one tomorrow. Temperatures near Grand Bend, Port Elgin, anywhere between 28, 29. 30 degrees as we head through the interior of Huron-Perth, Grey and Bruce, and then we have showers in the forecast on Thursday. Arriving for you a bit earlier in the day, more of a steady rainfall in the morning, tapering off in the afternoon. Mainly cloudy for your Friday, and then the weekend, Saturday, Sunday into Monday. Daytime highs right where we want to be for this time of year, 26 to 28 degrees. So an absolutely spectacular looking forecast. We do need some rain. The grass is looking rather dry, Carlyle, so we are hoping for some rainfall on Thursday. It's all about timing in the summer, I would say. You don't want the rain on the weekends. You need it to come at nighttime during the week. That's always the best timing. In terms of all those outdoor activities this week, they are a go after the heat we experienced last week. So really just enjoying a perfect summer evening at the Woodcrest Community Pool. And of course, you can check out all their activities or membership info online. I'll send things back to the newsroom.
Thanks very much, Julie.
It was devastating for me.
Still ahead, don't get burned when a tour gets canceled. Why travel packages can be helpful to ensure you get a full refund.
What is the meanest thing a child has ever said to you? Because my niece said something so hilariously mean to my father-in-law, I can't wait to tell you.
Join us tomorrow morning at 8:15 and text in your answers to 54321.
Officials with Diageo, the makers of Crown Royal, say they've agreed to sell their bottling plant in Hammersburg. A company spokesperson says no details about the buyer will be released, though. The plant was put up for sale after it closed, impacting about 200 jobs. Premier Doug Ford had threatened to pull Crown Royal off LCBO shelves in response, but backed down after Diageo officials agreed to a $23 million investment plan in Ontario. Union leaders representing Canadian auto workers say this is a critical week, working out a 3-year contract with Ford. Unifor represents roughly 5,000 Ford workers, negotiating with the automaker since June 23rd. The union's national president says bargaining has been challenging and frustrating ahead of an internal deadline set for Friday. Reaching a deal with Ford is seen as a jumping-off point for later bargaining rounds with General Motors and Stellantis. A woman from the Toronto area says she's out nearly $2,000 after a key part of her summer vacation plan was canceled. As Pat Foran reports, she had booked her flights separately, which meant getting a refund for those was out of the question.
It was devastating for me.
Janet Somali of Mississauga was excited to fulfill a lifelong dream by traveling to Switzerland. She and her husband booked a guided tour over a year ago that was to leave in May.
I had already bought my euro money and my Swiss francs in preparation for the trip.
But 1 month before the trip, they got a notice from the travel company that said the tour had been canceled due to a lack of interest.
We got notification that the land tour was canceled because there was not enough sales.
The travel group said it would refund the cost of the tour, but Somali says she also paid for 2 round-trip tickets to Paris for $1,800. She felt she deserved a refund for those, too.
And I can understand if cancellations are due to say, natural disasters or things of that sort, but not because there's not enough sales.
She booked with Trip to Go. A spokesperson told CTV News cancellations due to insufficient participation can occur when minimum operating requirements are not met. In line with our policies, affected travelers were offered either a full refund for the land tour package or a free rescheduled departure date.
It's different depending on whether it's a packaged tour or individually purchased.
The Travel Industry Council of Ontario, TICO, says if you book a package deal with a flight included with a tour, then you should get a full refund. But when you book a flight separately from a tour, you usually won't get your money back. It's all about the terms and conditions.
It's really important to look at the cancellation fees, rebooking fees.
Somali says she didn't feel comfortable flying to Europe without a planned itinerary, so she and her husband stayed home, and they were not refunded the $1,800 for the tickets. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index finished in positive territory, helped by gains in energy stocks. The TSX gained 60 points. In New York, the Dow fell 131. The Nasdaq lost 302. The Canadian dollar gained 1/10 cent today. On commodity markets, gold lost $10 an ounce. Oil added $1.89 a barrel. Later on CTV News, wildlife awareness. The Canadian boy and his solution for neighborhood encounters with potentially dangerous animals. Welcome back. Executives with a British film studio say they are developing a feature-length movie with an AI-generated actor in the starring role. The decision to create the AI personality in the first place sparked controversy last year. And as John Venevalley-Rao reports, this film will likely stoke those tensions even more.
Hi, I'm Tilly Norwood, the world's first AI actor.
Ever since she was created last year, she has courted controversy.
I know you all say I'm not real, but who cares?
An AI-generated actor that's generated a lot of concern in Hollywood. And now the British company behind Tilly Norwood says she'll star in a full-length feature film.
I totally understand where people are coming from and thinking that it's really scary and thinking that it shouldn't happen.
Tilly Norwood, 100% AI generated.
The movie is slated to be called Misaligned and tells the story of Tilly trying to be more human. It's billed as a hybrid production, human film and TV pros directing, writing, and editing alongside AI specialists.
It's going to be a fun comedy that's going to showcase where the tech's at.
Tilly was in part created by Dutch comedian Eline van der Velden, and the character hasn't exactly been embraced by Hollywood stars. Emily Blunt has called it really, really scary.
I do think that AI should only be to aid the journey, not to replace actors, because we want to feel that human emotion.
AI was a big part of the actors' strike 3 years ago, with the union pushing for more protections from it. Still, AI in entertainment is becoming more common. The upcoming film, As Deep as the Grave, features an AI-generated performance from the late Val Kilmer.
Don't fear the dead, and don't fear me.
I don't think we're going to see people lining up to see AI movies because they don't feel real. Their eyes don't look real. There's a lot of things that have to be perfected yet.
Still, Tilly's creators have compared what they're doing to traditional animation and CGI and say Tilly is a piece of art that's sparking conversations. John Venevalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Prince Harry and 6 other complainants have lost a case against the publisher of the British tabloid The Daily Mail. Those other complainants include Elton John and actress Elizabeth Hurley. They had sued the publishers, accusing them of tapping their phones, intercepting voicemails, and obtaining personal information through deception. The publisher denied the allegations, stating the articles they published were based on lawful sources who offered the information to reporters. All claims were dismissed today by a UK High Court judge. Renata Ford, the wife of late Toronto Mayor Rob Ford, has died. Premier Doug Ford confirmed the news in a statement last night, saying his heart breaks for their children, Stephanie and Dougie. He says they've been through so much at such young ages, and losing their mom is incredibly painful. Our whole family is hurting for them. We ask people respect their privacy during this very difficult time. A cause of death has not been shared. Renata Ford was 55 years old.
Our photograph of the day was taken in London in the Riverbend area. Thank you so much, Stuart Crawford, for sending this photograph in. Hot and humid heading into your Wednesday. It'll feel like the upper 30s, and we have the risk for showers on Thursday as a cold front moves in.
A new survey shows Canadian manufacturers are considering moving production south of the border because of trade tensions. 42% of respondents with domestic manufacturing companies polled by KPMG Canada say they're either looking at shifting production to the U.S. or they've already done so. 77% said they're thinking about relocating within the next 2 years. Results for the survey were taken from business owners and executives at 275 manufacturing companies back in May. Authorities in Syria say at least 18 people were hurt earlier today when explosions rocked the city of Damascus during a visit from the French president. A large plume of smoke rose near the Four Seasons Hotel where Syrian media say Emmanuel Macron was staying. He's the first major Western leader to visit Syria since Bashar al-Assad was ousted in 2024. Macron was inside the presidential palace when the explosions happened. His representatives say he was safe and continued his meeting with the current Syrian president. He was later scheduled to head to Turkey for the NATO summit. Police in British Columbia say they're investigating after a video surfaced online appearing to show a woman asleep at the wheel while her Tesla cruised down the highway. As Craig Krause reports, those vehicles are supposed to have safeguards to prevent that from happening.
A shocking video captured on Highway 1 between Golden and Revelstoke over the weekend. A woman can be seen in the driver's seat of this Tesla. She appears to be asleep at the wheel, with several people inside the car, including children.
And I looked, I was like, that lady looks like she's sleeping. And I did a triple take.
Carly King recorded the vehicle as her husband passed it, both in disbelief, leaving her to call police, fearing the driver was suffering a medical emergency. Did you see her hand on the wheel at all? Or
No. But there was a cover on the steering wheel. So I don't know how it all works, but
Scary.
Very scary.
It remains unclear how the Tesla continued down the highway, but police say they're investigating. The driver could be facing more than $2,000 in fines.
Unfortunately, we've seen this before. More and more, we are seeing people rely on automated technologies that are not legal in the province of British Columbia.
While the technology exists, fully autonomous driving remains a long way off in BC. Current policy only allows level 2 driver assistance, meaning the driver must remain alert, engaged, and in control while the vehicle is moving.
We don't know what the moral decision making is that's programmed into these vehicles. And the moral decision making can be a significant impact in situations where a collision is unavoidable and you have to choose between sort of the lesser of two evils.
Without human control, those life and death decisions could ultimately be left to artificial intelligence. As for King, she says she hesitated to release the video, but hopes it serves as a wake-up call for drivers and policymakers.
Greater safety of our communities is probably the most important thing, and maybe learning a valuable lesson, and hopefully nobody gets hurt doing that kind of stuff in the future.
Craig Crow, CTV News, Vancouver.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, a Canadian boy's solution to an urban wildlife problem. Animal sightings were becoming more common in his neighborhood, including a bear recently camped out in someone's backyard. With more on what he wanted to do about it, here's John Venevalley-Rao.
Just above the playhouse there where my kids used to play.
What Kathleen Miller saw in her backyard recently truly surprised her.
Shocked because I've never seen a bear, first of all, but never seen a bear around here.
Up in a tree, this black bear that she snapped photos of behind her house in the Stouffville neighborhood on the outskirts of Toronto, where there have been several local bear sightings in recent weeks, and this one came a little too close for comfort.
And he was just hanging in the tree looking really comfortable with his hands and legs down.
After 3 days, provincial officials came and caught the bear and relocated him. The latest wildlife encounter in the burbs. Coyotes have also caused problems of late, including an attack in this playground in Whitby, Ontario, on Sunday evening that saw a 2-year-old get bitten. This 8-year-old in Markham heard about the incidents and learned wildlife is losing space to people, creating conflicts, so he decided to act.
I wanted to find a solution for this problem by using technology, so I decided to make an app.
Buhan Sayuran, who has some computer smarts, felt there was some urgency, so he turned to artificial intelligence to assist him with creating an app that he thinks could help.
I wanted to use AI because AI could help us solve problems much faster than coding, because coding would take maybe weeks for me. So then I decided to go with AI.
In a couple of days, the youngster, who's going into grade 4, created Urban Wild Watch, a site that lets people report animal sightings so others can be aware of them.
You could report any animals, but the main ones are coyotes, foxes, and raccoons.
He says it's been rewarding to see people use his app, and he hopes it'll help protect both people and the animals so that encounters don't end with either being harmed.
Sayuran says his app can be used for locations anywhere in the world, and he hopes more people start using it. John Venavalley-Rao, CTV News, Markham, Ontario.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.